All right, so we are gonna go on a crazy adventure. I'm gonna share with you something that has absolutely changed my life for the better. Because a lot of times when I'm sharing this stuff with folks are like, "Dude, like, how are you able to eat all clean and stuff like that?" And then when I show them, a lot of times they're like, "Man, like, eating clean, it's a lot of work and it's really expensive and it's just a lot of hassle." And to be totally honest, I'm gonna share with you right now, we are gonna flip that on its head. You are gonna learn one of the biggest things that really kind of like helped transform my eating, okay? So let me kind of like lay down the groundwork for you, okay? So this all really kind of like boiled down and really kind of changed, and just so you can see how and where this might apply to you, when my wife and I, we had initially bought our house, okay? And I bought it, I was maybe like 23, 24, right? And back in the days, you could get these crazy financing terms when you wanted to do like, everything from furniture and all this other stuff. And, so it was like, no payments for like, like 90 days or 6 months or sometimes even 18 months, depending on how many thousands of dollars that you would spend. So you give that to a kid who's like 20, what do you think we're gonna do? Yeah, we just went crazy, you know what I mean? And then at the same time, like when you first move into a house, it's like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood, and we're gonna give you this cable internet phone program thing, promotion, 3 months free. And we're like, all right, you know what I mean? And so we buy this house and we go from literally like living in my parents' house, in which we were like, had our own little budget, if you will, to now, living, doing it for real. And not only was the payments different than what we thought, by the time all those bills hit us, just like that, okay? Just like that, we were broke like overnight, you know what I'm saying? And we had to, come on, dude, I'm letting you in. Oh, yeah, I'm letting this dude in. Okay, so anyways, we were literally just eating out of our own hands. Like we had like, to be totally honest, this is super, super humbling. We used to shop at this place called Food for Less. And back in the days, they would have these ramen specials, the noodles, if you will, 12 packs for $1, okay, 8 cents, okay? And gosh, this is super humbling. But anyway, yeah, and I used to get that all the time. And to be totally honest, it probably played a huge role as to why I'm even type 2 diabetic in the first place, because that's essentially what I ate every single day. My protein back then is that I would literally buy a carton of eggs, and I would literally crack maybe like 3 to 4 eggs into my ramen, you know what I mean? And that would be like my protein. And that's kind of how I got by. And, just like anything else, we all kind of grow, we all kind of progress. Long story short, we got to the point where, hey, we've got kids and, obviously income had changed, not 20 years old anymore. And so I then got to the point where if you send me, let me put it this way, if you send me, especially if I'm with my daughter, okay, I'm horrible when I'm with my daughter. If you send us to Costco, okay, without like a list or something, I'm that goofball that's just gonna start buying random crap, okay? I'm the guy that's literally gonna come home with like 60 pounds of cat litter, and like we don't even have a cat, okay? Like I'm the guy that just buys like, oh, look at these, like, LED switch lights, you know what I mean? Like, like I'm gonna buy all that crap and then like stick it in the closet, where like everything else that I bought that I don't use sits. And I know this sounds like rambling, but here's why this and how and why this all changed, okay? Because this was like the impetus, if you will, or the stimulus that really got me to not only eat extremely clean, but also helped me pull things around and eat really clean on a really easy budget, and really almost any budget, okay? Even if like, you gotta like save super crazy money. And here's what I mean. So back when we were eating like the ramen style, right? My wife and I, we literally got to a very humble place where we basically had to eat from the back of the fridge, is basically what we would call it. So we would go out, we would go grocery shopping, and to make sure that no food would go bad, we would start with, if we came home we would be like, hey, what's for dinner or whatever. The way that we filter that is by looking in the fridge and be like, yo, what are the expiration dates, right? Like when I say humble, like that's really what I mean, right? Like what is, and obviously we would buy in small batches, okay? So really nothing had the chance to ever go bad, but at the same time, we just wanted to make sure that everything was as fresh as possible and that we had no room for waste. Fast forward to the point where one day, it was like a Father's Day, okay? And my wife, we get, just like Father's Day, you get all these different things in the mail, you get all these different ads for, the sports thing, the technology thing, the buy a new TV, golf clubs, whatever, right? So my wife takes this whole stack of papers and she, junk mail, she just gives it to me. She's like, hey, I already got you, the kids and I already got you stuff for Father's Day. However, if there's anything else that you want, just, point it out and we'll get it for you. All right, no big deal. So I'm looking through these ads, and we normally, if you're anything like me, you go to like, Father's Day, Mother's Day, whatever, you go to a really nice restaurant. And, these restaurants, it's going to be like a steakhouse or, the restaurant on the water or whatever it is, okay? And we would go and it would be like something like steak or like a lobster tail or like salmon, and like next to that you got like asparagus or Brussels sprouts or whatever. And I go and, I'm looking around. Lo and behold, I didn't throw them away. I just like threw them on the coffee table, or stuffed them under the coffee table. And we left and came back. And I was kind of going through it. I was just throwing all that stuff away. However, when I looked at like the coupon section, not the coupon section, but like the actual advertisements for the stores, okay, they were chocked full of a lot of the same things that we were going out to have for dinner, okay, like the lobster tail, the steak, the fish, all the other stuff. And they had them at a phenomenal deal. And I'm like, wait a minute, right? And like, next thing you know, I'm like, okay, like no big deal. You know what? My kids like that kind of stuff, and so do I, obviously. Who doesn't like eating good food? So I went out and I just went to the store. I'm not anyone special. I just went to the store and I just bought some stuff and came home and made it. Now, normally, when it comes to eating, I'm the one that's responsible for my family when they eat, right? Like whether it be, eating out, eating in, I'm usually the one that has to drive through the drive-through. I'm the guy that, has to cook it or whatever. And a lot of times when I would go through the drive-throughs, it would take like, depending on where I'm going, anywhere from like half hour, 45 minutes to go there and come back. So here's where everything clicked. I one day started making this stuff, and all of a sudden the kids were like, Dad, can you make that again? Like we want that instead of like the takeout food. Lo and behold, it ended up being faster and less expensive than going out. And I'm gonna show you here what I mean in a second, okay? Because we are gonna go to one of my favorite places, which is a place called Pavilions. Now, Pavilions, if you don't have a Pavilions around you, they're a smaller grocery store chain, almost boutique, I would say. But if like let's say if you're over here, like let's say like Whole Foods and Bristol Farms is up here, okay? Like Pavilions is like here, okay? And then normally you've got your other, your medium range places here. And then if you really got to shop on a budget, nothing wrong with that. The prices are going to be down here, which makes this all that much easier, okay? And here's what I mean by that. Normally, whenever I do my grocery shopping, I will go to Costco. I'm still a fool at Costco. The only difference is I'll just have my wife shoot me a list, and we'll just basically pick, like what we normally get. This all kind of changed one time she shot me a list, and I would go and pick up like a lot of different, knick-knack things from some of the other health food stores and stuff like that. And then by the time I did that, I couldn't help but notice that like, not only did like a lot of the wasted money that I would buy anyway, because normally whenever I try to eat healthy, I'm like, all right, I gotta buy, a million things. I want to get like these grocery lists and stuff like that, and I just buy all kinds of crap, and then like at the end of week 1 or at the end of week 2, like 50, 60, 70% of it goes right into the trash. You know what I mean? Basically, here's all I'm doing. I'm starting with a very concentrated list, and then I'm just picking up pieces here and there, and then essentially what happens is that when I now focus on having all these quality ingredients in the home, okay, it not only like inspires me to like eat them fresh, right? Because like who doesn't like quality ingredients fresh, right? The secret to any good meal. next thing you know, like everybody in the house started eating healthy. They started eating fresh. They started wanting it more. It's funny. My wife now is actually starting to transform herself, and I'm not even like saying any of this stuff, and it's really just kind of like taking over. So anyways, I don't want to like talk about it. Let's just get, you know, right in there. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. We're just gonna do it right now, but at the same time, I need to get my goofy butt into the gym because yesterday completely blasted my legs, which felt good, by the way. And so did that, and yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and make today more of a light day. I'm gonna do a lot of like stretching, a lot of like warming up, a lot of like light work. You know, a lot of times we don't have to like be all Conan or whatever. I mean, I guess it sounds cool. We don't have to. But anyways, let's get at it. Now we're headed to Costco. Let's do this. All right, let me show you what we got so far. So I got some Colby, some mild cheddar, some floret, some broccoli under there, some hamburger patties, some organic turkey. I bought some sesame seed dressing, some cauliflower pizza, eggs. What's buried under here? Oh yeah, I got a pineapple for the wife and for marinade for the steak. These bubble chicken, I got 3 of them, so there's 1 there, 2 there, apple cider vinegar, strawberries, blueberries for the wifey, and wings, some Kerrygold butter, and then I gotta basically pick up some mozzarella and some protein bars for the boy. Okay, super simple, super quick. Oh yeah, and obviously I got some necessities along with some water. So that's Costco. One of the things that I love about Costco, it's like there's obviously like pros and cons, right? There's 2 sides to every coin. So, you know, obviously this could be any store for you, you know, whether it's Sam's Club or even Walmart or whatever, right? Like no judgments whatsoever. Yeah, monkey.
We need Kerrygold.
I got some.
And sourdough bread.
Dang, I didn't get sourdough breezy.
He didn't get it. He didn't get it.
But you know what? I'm headed to another store, so let me see if they have it there. Is it just gonna be, what is it for? Just for like sandwiches and like stuff like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because we have some.
Wait.
We have some at the house. However, I'm going to I'm going to another store, so I'll see if I can get it here. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want anything else? I'm probably gonna go to Sprouts. Do you want any fruit or anything like that for the week?
No, thank you.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Bye. Okay, so that was the monkey. So one of the cool things that I love about Costco, and obviously again this could be like any store that you like or whatever, is that there's a huge stable of consistent foods, right? Super consistent, which is awesome, right? You know, so it's like, you know, eggs or cream or whatever. To be totally honest, I usually get everything from my broccoli, my Brussels sprouts, the green beans I'll get anywhere, but like power greens, I love the power greens, right? A lot of that stuff I actually have at home. The organic, you know, romaine lettuce or whatever, dude, it's like crazy cheap there. It's like $3.49 or something like that for like 6 heads. It's like freaking 50 cents, right? Like per head, or like less than that, or maybe a couple cents more, but whatever. However, the other side of that coin is that, like, you know, I'm a big fan of variety too. Like I can't keep eating the same thing. So for example, like I love things like, you know, arugula and like bok choy and like all these other things. So whether it be for me or getting other things for, like, you know, my wife and the kids or whatever, I'll typically also go to a couple other health food places, and that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm here at the local place, Sprouts, and after here we're going to run to Pavilions and then home. Here we go. Okay, so to be totally straight with you, like, I didn't buy all that much. I only bought some nutseed mix, you know, for my wife, for my gorgeous wife Michelle, for the week, and some limes. That was pretty much it. I was actually gonna buy a lot, or normally I don't buy a lot, but I usually pick up a lot of odds and ends. However, it like dawned on me because they had like these, they had like this gorgeous, like, you know, kale and like all this other stuff. The only problem I have is that, like, man, like at home, for the same reason why I didn't buy any power greens and stuff like that at Costco, is that, man, I have a lot of greens to go through. And so, you know, I think that's like one of the beautiful things about that is like, when we actually kind of like shop small, it kind of like almost positions us to keep eating fresh and to keep eating healthy, right? It's almost like it forces us to now become accountable, right? And don't get me wrong, like, we all do this different, you know what I mean? You know, I'd be lying through my teeth if I didn't admit to you that, sure, sometimes I still go to Costco and I just buy a bunch of random stuff, and then ends up like half of it ends up in the trash, you know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be that way, you know? It definitely doesn't, you know? And whether it's, you know, stuff that I get at Costco or from whatever store or whatever, you know, I'm still human just like anyone else, you know? Like, perfect examples, they had at Sprouts, they had this phenomenal deal on some cod. So if you like, let's say you like fish and chips, or you like, you know, fillet of fish sandwiches from McDonald's or whatever, however, regular fish dishes are kind of like, make you kind of squeamish because they're a little too fishy, right? White fish, especially things like cod, you know, lean cod, dorado, mahi, swai. I wouldn't say tilapia, because tilapia is kind of a fishy, even though it's a white fish, it's still kind of fishy. A lot of that stuff you'll find is very mild, those white fish, and they kind of assume the flavors of whatever that you're going to essentially dress them or cook them with, which is an easy way to get in really clean, easy to digest protein, at the same time extremely healthy, and it's not super fishy. Anyway, they had a phenomenal deal there, and I wanted to pick some up. However, I'm about to go to Pavilions right now and like pick up, you know, like my body weight and some ribeyes. So, you know, I just didn't want to like overload or overdo it, especially seeing that how much we just, you know, protein stuff we have at Costco, because I have a lot of greens and veggies and all this other stuff at home. Yeah, so that's that. Pavilions, let's do this. Ironically.
No, yeah, they're out there.
Oh, they are?
On the prepackaged, yeah.
Oh, right on.
They just put them out right now.
Cool, thanks, bro. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna annihilate these dudes. So here's what I'm talking about. I went to the counter or whatever, and they were out. However, they just laid them out. So here's what I mean. Let's talk about the deal of the century, okay? So it's like 42 bucks. Another 40 bucks. That's like what, 80 bucks. Right? And then 60 bucks, right? So like 59 and change, right? So basically 60 bucks. So 80 is 140, right? But check this out. 20, 13, it's like what, 33? And that is like what, 43? Right? Okay. Gangster.
Oh, Mom's bike.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna go on, yeah, Mom's bike would probably be easier to ride anyway. I would actually take Mom's bike if I were you. And
Okay.
and if you can, when you take Mom's bike, put your phone in the cup holder. If it'll fit. Because my only concern is if you put like regular board shorts or like basketball shorts and you're pedaling,
Oh yeah, I was gonna.
it's gonna fall out. Your phone's gonna fall out and shatter. Huh?
Yeah, I was thinking of putting it in Samantha's drawstring bag.
Oh yeah, dude, smarter idea. See, there you go, sir. Okay, smarter than your dad.
Okay.
All right, later.
Yeah.
All right. So the cool thing is you don't definitely don't necessarily need to be like some crazy, you know, rocket scientist or anything like that to get a decent deal. I was totally off on my math. It's not 40 bucks. It's like 46 bucks. In fact, here's the receipt. Here. After, can you see that? Anyways, even after buying the sourdough is like less than 50 bucks, right? So basically like 150 bucks worth of steak, 140, whatever it was. You know, awesome deal. And here's the cool thing about that, right? It basically breaks down all those different steaks, if you will. I bought 7, you know, less than 50 bucks. It was like, I think before the bread, it was maybe like 54 or 55, right? Something like that. I'm sorry, 44 or 45. See, I'm a total goofball. Anyways, that's like $6, right? Because like 6 times 7. I'm just totally dyslexic right now. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, so yeah, by the time we look at like $6, right, for a $15, $20 steak, whatever it is, dude, all day long, super easy wins. Okay, and you know, whether you want to just make that at the house, whether you want to, like, I'm very fortunate enough in that, like, you know, the office, they have a kitchenette for us, so I can actually just kind of like make that at work. Look, even if you want to like meal prep it and then make it the night before or whatever, you're eating like a stud, you're eating like a champ, you know what I mean? And then by the time we look at, you know, like everything from like the power greens, the arugula, the asparagus, the whatever you want to put in there, right? Normally I'll get this huge bag of power greens from Costco, and it's like $4, like $3.50, you know what I mean? And it has like, the bag is like a hay bale, you know what I mean, of power greens, you know what I mean? And whether you want to do it with that, the whole bag of broccoli was like $5, and that's like 1 million servings in there, right? By the time we look at everything from a little bit of, you know, grass-fed butter, a little bit of garlic, and whatever, we're eating like we're dang near at a restaurant for like $7, you know what I mean? And yeah, the crazy thing is, like, I'm not anyone special. Like, everybody probably gets junk mail, you know what I mean? Everybody gets that stuff, and if you don't, you know, it's all good, you know. You can always sign up for them, they're free. The beautiful thing about all these different you know, markets, if you're trying to eat on a budget, and I hope more than anything this inspires you, right? Before I say another word, because there was a huge stigma, and a lot of the different, you know, groups that I'm in, and they're like, man, like, you know, eating healthy has got to be so expensive, and clearly, nah, not really. You know what I mean? If you want more information like this, what I'll do is I'll actually put in the link below another video that I made, as far as, you know, being able to feed your family, you know, healthy, extremely healthy, you know, faster, easier, far more healthier, and far tastier, and even less expensive, less expensive than takeout food. Okay, like drive-through takeout burgers, and I not only like show you, like I actually show you the burgers that I'm eating, how much they cost, and all this other stuff. And I really just kind of do that in the hopes that it inspires you, because man, the possibilities are out there, you know. If you can see what I'm doing with these crazy steaks, man, like when they do these things on like chicken and stuff like that, they actually have a deal going or whatever, and you know, I think it's like it's at Bonds, I think it's like 99 cents for like boneless, skinless chicken breast. Okay, dude, $1, you know what I mean? By the time you just pay $10, you've got like 10 pounds of like straight chicken, like no crap, right? So you're just eating nothing but the good stuff. And like, hey man, by the time you do that on like thighs or something like that, it's like, you know, 79 cents or something goofy. Anyways, whatever it is, I hope that inspires you, because man, it just goes to show you can eat everything from, like, you know, lobster to, you know, steak, fish, chicken, turkey. The possibilities are endless. I mean, you can basically dang near do anything that your heart desires. So I hope that that actually inspires you. I hope that it kind of like helps and shares with you, you know, what's really possible out there. Again, the beautiful thing about this is, like, these supermarkets, you know, whether they're worth $1 trillion, $1 billion, multi-million dollars, or whatever, a lot of them have marketing departments that their sole job is to do whatever they can to sell you the best deal to get you in the building. I'm not anyone special. I just fall for the advertising and stick it in the cart, and then I just buy it and then eat it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be complicated. So anyways, I want to stop rambling on, and yeah.